Today we're making a whipped ganache with ruby chocolate. It's delicate yet stable, with a pastel pink color, a delicate creamy berry flavor, and a subtle tang. It holds fine piping detail beautifully and works well in modern desserts, tartlets, individual pastries, and cakes. It pairs especially well with strawberries, raspberries, cherries, passion fruit, citrus, almonds, pistachios, coconut, and vanilla. Ruby chocolate is often described as the fourth type of chocolate, after dark, milk, and white chocolate. Its color and fruity notes come from the natural properties of the cocoa beans and a special processing method, with no artificial colors or fruit flavorings. It tastes noticeably different from white chocolate. It is less creamy and less sweet, with a fresher berry profile. For ganache, the chocolate only needs to be heated to about 40 degrees Celsius and should not exceed 45. Once most of the calots have melted, stop heating. The remaining calots will melt from the residual heat. This makes the temperature easier to control and minimizes the risk of overheating, helping preserve ruby chocolate's beautiful color and flavor. Look at that berry pink color. It isn't from food coloring. It's the characteristic color of ruby chocolate, brought out by the natural properties of the cocoa beans and a special processing method. Heat part of the heavy cream with the glucose syrup and bloomed gelatin to about 55 to 60 degrees Celsius. That is enough for the gelatin to dissolve completely and for the glucose syrup to blend evenly into the cream. Glucose syrup makes the ganache smoother and more pliable. The gelatin reinforces the structure as the ganache chills, so it whips up more reliably and holds its shape and piping detail better once piped. At this stage, the goal is to create a stable emulsion by evenly combining the fat in the chocolate with the water phase of the cream. The mixture should be thick, smooth, and glossy. A proper emulsion is what gives the finished ganache its smooth texture, stability, and ability to whip evenly. The cold, heavy cream quickly lowers the temperature of the emulsion and brings the ganache to the right ratio of chocolate to cream. After adding the cream, blend the mixture until it is completely smooth and homogeneous. A shallow container helps the ganache chill faster and more evenly. It needs at least 8 hours in the refrigerator to stabilize fully, but 10 to 12 hours or overnight is even better. During this time, the fats in the chocolate and cream crystallize, allowing the ganache to whip properly and hold its shape. Once stabilized, the ganache becomes noticeably thicker and firmer. That means its structure has set and it is ready to be whipped. When you first start whipping, the firm ganache softens and may look looser. That is normal. Gradually it incorporates air, increases in volume, and lightens in color. Ganache whips fairly quickly, so watch the consistency closely. Don't whip it to stiff peaks. You are looking for a soft, flexible peak that bends slightly at the tip. It should hold its shape while remaining supple. If overwhipped, the ganache can become too firm, lose its smooth texture, and begin to split. Use the ganache immediately after whipping. It stays pliable and easy to work with while holding its shape and piping detail well. The flavor is delicate and creamy, with fruity berry notes and ruby chocolate's fresh tang. In the next video, this ganache will be a key component of a delicious Breton tartlet.